Hey folks, welcome to week 11 of User Experience and Interface Design. How's everybody doing? I hope you are staying safe and taking good care of yourselves. Okay, so week 11, lots to do. We are now getting rolling on project 2. Last week in week 10, you guys did a great job of finalizing your 10 steps. So let's take a look at the syllabus and see where we are with the project. We'll go over some other sort of vaguely related things, and we'll go from there. All right, so first things first, on to the syllabus. All right, so here on the syllabus in week 11, we normally would have met April 6th, 8th, and 10th. Hopefully you all made it through April Fool's Day without any tricks being played upon you. So now in week 2, we are going to continue along with project 2. Specifically, we are going to work on updating and improving our imagery that we're going to use on our DIY website. Sorry. So let's go back to week 10 and see where we were at. So last week you guys turned in your written steps. I gave everybody feedback on the written steps. Overall, everybody did a really nice job writing up your steps, getting some user testing results, and improving them. So if you need to make some further adjustments based on my feedback, certainly do that. Also, last week you were to start collecting and or creating any imagery for your website. So now we are going to turn all of that in. You're going to bundle up all of your imagery, whether it be photos, illustrations, diagrams, or whatnot, regardless of where you got them from. You're going to bundle them up and upload them to Canvas. So that is due today, April 6th. You have to turn in all of your completed imagery for your website. So hopefully you have all of that bundled and ready to go. Now when I say bundled, you can put it all into a folder and then zip that folder up and send it up to Canvas directly. Or if you want to put it into a Google Drive or put it into your OneDrive as part of Office 365 and then simply post the link to that shared drive in Canvas so that I can go see them. Either way is fine with me. So that is due on today, April 6th. Now, once those are uploaded, I am going to review all of your photos or illustrations or diagrams or whatever you might have and give you some feedback on them. Remember we talked about last week that they should all look as though they go together, they work together, they're helping guide people through the steps of the thing you are trying to teach us. And so I will give you feedback based along those guidelines. Do they all work together? Are they nice, clean photographs? Are they clear and good to look at? Do they look as though they belong as part of a set? And same thing if you go with illustrations or diagrams or graphics or whatever it is you've decided to do. So that all is turned in today. So that is this part here where it says due, project 2, part 2, present completed imagery. So we'll take a look at that, and then while I am giving you feedback on that, you guys will move on to the next step. Now, once you get your feedback from the images, of course, make sure that you are cleaning them up. If you've shot your own photos or illustrations, so whether you're working in Photoshop and you took some nice photos of yourself cooking, for example, if you're teaching us how to make a dish, which some of you did, make sure that you use Photoshop to clean up the photos, make them look nicer, balance the colors, brighten them up, etc., etc. And if you don't want to use Photoshop, of course, you could use Apple Photos or some other photo editing software like Lightroom or Aperture or whatever you'd like. Now, if you're using illustrations, like for example these illustrations here, that can also be helpful. Certainly make sure that you are getting good quality ones and that you are getting all of your illustrations and photos from our approved sources, right? Unsplash, Pixabay, Pexels, etc. And of course, just to remind you, you could of course shoot all the photos yourself or create the illustrations from scratch as well. That would be great. I certainly would not discourage you from doing that, but that is entirely optional. Okay, so again, all the imagery gets uploaded to Canvas today. I will be taking the week to review all of your uploaded imagery and give you some great feedback on that, hopefully. And meanwhile, I am doing that for the rest of the week, for essentially the 8th and the 10th. You are now going to move on to the homework stage here, which is to start planning your site on paper, from site outline to site map to wireframes, the exact same steps we did for our previous project, right? You always start out with a site outline, then you make a site map, and then you work into your wireframes. Remember, if you are unsure of what all that's about, we have handouts about that. There is a handout from, I believe, week 4. It's in the week 4 folder. You can check it out, the wireframe mockups. Check that out if you want a little refresher as to what the wireframes are all about and how they should look. There's lots of examples, but of course we've done them before. Make sure your wireframes are done neatly and either on dot paper like this or on graph paper, something that makes it easy for you to draw them neatly and cleanly. Be sure to use a ruler. Pencil is certainly best so you can make edits and adjustments. But make sure that they are easy to read and understand. And remember, one screen or section of your website per page, okay? So be sure to read the directions on that from the previous handout. Once you get your outline, sitemap, and wireframes done, you guessed it, you're going to go out and user test your website. So you're going to get 3 people. It can be the same 3 people that you used for project 1 if you would like, or if you want to do 3 other people, it doesn't really matter. Just 3 people that you can sit them down and go through the usability testing that we did before. Make sure that they can clearly understand the site layout and how to complete certain basic tasks. So first you have to write up a series of tasks you would like them to do. Now, if you are you need a little refresher on how the usability testing works, we also have a handout for that. What is usability testing? You can find that in Canvas under Files. Again, I believe it was around week 4 that we got this, so it's still there if you haven't downloaded it. So this goes through all the steps about how to conduct usability testing. So make sure you are following all the steps and that you do everything that is listed here. Remember, at the end, you are going to present the results of your usability testing. So that will be due next week, okay? But for this week, make sure that you get all your paper sketches done and you go out and do your usability testing. Okay, so just to review, I will be reviewing your photos and illustrations and diagrams and giving you feedback, and you guys this week in week 11 will be working on all your paper deliverables and all the way up through wireframes and going out and doing your usability testing. Okay, pay attention to the due dates in Canvas, and we'll go from there. Now, speaking of Canvas, if you haven't checked them out, and hopefully you have, make sure you are looking at all the announcements that come out every week. I'm trying to put up some helpful stuff, so if you find them helpful, great. If you'd like to give me some feedback on them, I am always happy to get some feedback to try to improve. And remember that I am hosting online office hours every week. There's an announcement about that too. Okay, so get to work on the week 11 stuff, and hope you guys are doing well, and I will talk to you soon.